Hi everybody, and welcome back to another sweet, fresh episode of the Value Cafe. Thank you so much for joining again this week. And oh my God, I loved your feedback from the last one. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for you taking the time to actually give me the feedback. And again, my NYSC Shenanigans in general. Thank you so much for listening through. And yeah, all of that. So this week, a lot of the focus in the past episodes have been on, the camp experience, a lot of the old, the new, blending in with the new, and like trying to settle into the new NYSC life. So now, this is the period when a lot of people are like getting their PPAs. That's the primary place of assignment. I know I'm going to leave the whole 11 months actually like working in a particular place. So I figured that apart from all the fun and the fluff, it would be nice to actually, share and learn on how to make the best of that period going forward. That is why I called it NYSC Service Year Optimisation. And with me today is somebody that I know that you definitely optimize the service year from what I know of him. So today I have a very, very, very good friend of mine, Kehinde Odanye. Yay! So Kehinde Odanye, corporate social responsibility professional, corporate strategist, and he believes in the power of young people. So hi Kenny, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Esther. It's a privilege to be here with you.
It's been a while that I saw you physically, so how have you been?
I've been very okay. I've been very, very fine. I've been very okay. At least trying to, maximize my time and adjusting to the new life. So I've been very okay.
After all, you could abandon us in Ibadan.
Please, sometimes you have to go around and get something done. So it's not my fault, really.
Well, I can imagine you are seeing your work, so well done. And we are looking up to you. We want to be like you when we grow up.
Thank you. I also want to. I'm looking at some people too.
Well, it's good now. We all learn from one another. So, anyway, what year did you serve, like NYSC?
So yeah, I served in 2016, and then I finished in 2017.
Which states?
Ogun State. Abeokuta to be precise.
Oh, okay. They say Ogun State is like the best or the neatest camp in Nigeria, Abi?
Yes, please. That's a foster camp.
Yeah, I heard I heard as much, and I have someone close who also served there. So I saw the pictures, yeah. So well done. So how was it like? How was the experience like? The camp and also the whole service year itself in general.
Yeah, it was really very amazing for me. I mean, trying to get to meet different people from different schools and seeing the people that were hyperactive, some people that behave normally. That time when I had to cope with a lot of people. It started with when I got to the NYSC camp and I met different kind of people, especially sometimes when I want to read some things at night or I want to rest at night, and then I see my roommate shout and like, don't you understand you're supposed to be on your bed trying to rest or be productive and some things like that. So I started to blend with this kind of people, trying to do things even while they are shouting, trying to manage them. Some people just give you responses and you ask yourself, is this person normal at all? But you want to cope, you want to that period helped me to be able to manage my time, because there used to be like timeouts at the NYT camp, and then trying to also be socially and emotionally intelligent, trying to blend with my environment. So that really helped me a lot after the NYT camp, because after the NYT camp I thought it was going to be actually better, but trust me, it wasn't, because I had to deal with people at the PPA, place of primary assignment. I had to also deal with these people at the CDS. So and I was a CDS ESCO, so it wasn't really a joke. So it was really nice. It was really nice because I worked with people that that I really love, because I came to see the good part of them, and then throughout the year I was able to work with these people to make things happen. Yeah.
What did you do majorly? What did you focus on during your CDS?
So generally, one of the things that I got to know at the CDS was that a lot of people didn't understand what outside studying or outside schooling entails, especially when it comes to leveraging on what they can do to solve global challenges. So I took up that initiative of being a general secretary at my CDS. However, I was so much involved in training people at the CDS every week. So I every time you see me speak, I want to talk about things that they should actually, try to take a look at. I want to, educate them about the SDGs because I was in the SDGs CDS. So I was trying to, although I actually fought at the NYSC secretariat to be in that CDS because I wanted to be in that CDS. So it was really, really very nice for me. So at the CDS, I was actually working with the president to make sure that people get exposed to what is happening globally and nationally. So I made sure that people, were able to widen their scope and horizon of what is happening.
Quite interesting and well done. The SD is very, very important to have good knowledge of the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. And that was, I think at that point, I don't know if many people knew about it as much as it's being thrown around these days, right?
Yeah, so at that point, because of my own understanding of what it entails, so I was able to break it down to them. However, the whole generic thing of people saying SDG 17 goals and those wordy terms, those were the things they were used to. Those were the things they knew about. So, but I was actually helping them to understand that I could translate to what they do every day.
Everyday life. That makes sense actually, because for someone like me, when I first started hearing about it, it was pretty abstract. Sure, you get, but along the line, like being able to have people break it down for me and see how it's actually applicable in everyday life, like the mini molecular things like that I'm doing actually translates to something bigger globally. So I guess that helps everybody to be able to see their role and be that focused about stuff like that. So well done again. And 2016 though, where was I? I think I was in just starting my third year, or maybe oh God have mercy. Don't foul. So practically I'm like a new baby in the woods. So when it comes to like the NYSC life, what's one thing you wished you had focused on and you think that new people in the game, like people like me, should done to over the course of their year?
So yes, if I could turn back the hands of time, I wish I had focused more on doing the things that would really translate into me being productive. When I say being productive, despite the fact that I maximized my NYSC year, I would have focused more. I would have focused more on spreading my tentacles and trying to actually get more experience, like to just walk into an organization in maybe Lekki or Abuja and tell them to just put myself out there for people to know what I can do. So what was in my head during NYSC was, I'm a core member now. I'm not supposed to go out of my location. I'm not supposed to actually do all those kind of things. Now maybe after service year I cannot be going to organizations. No, I was actually wrong.
So you could have started teaching yourself from like during the year?
Exactly, I could have, because I found out that everything is just like a mirage, like what we are being told to do, like you're being told to follow every time, follow, and at this time we are supposed to use our initiative. So I was supposed to actually take my initiative and grab the bull by the horn, but I didn't. I was following instructions. I was following that thing that we were told at the NYSC camp. You must not go here, you must not go there. And then if you don't create opportunities for yourself, no one will. So it's a different thing entirely now. So yes, I wish I could have taken more
So they pretty much told us something. So the focus was more on security reasons this time around. That don't go out the way the country is, and also when you are posted to your probably a local government, be careful, don't like travel around, especially without taking permission, and try not to move alone because you're in a strange place, and if anything happens to you and all of that. But I guess like it's even easier these days because there are so many opportunities these days that you don't even have to be physically there in quotes. You can, explore them online. You can send your CVs, you can, connect and do all of those things virtually too. And yeah, I think it's a good thing to also, like leverage opportunities. And I know so many people that even if the thing was happening right under their nose, they still will not go anywhere. Let alone the one that is even far away.
I like to come in there. You spoke about opportunities that you could access even online. So on the other hand, there could be some opportunities that we have to be present on site and would require you to actually go or probably go extra mile. For instance, while I was in the NYSC year, I got selected for the Yearly West Africa program. That was in 2016 December, and I was supposed to go to by 2017 February. So when the time came, I told my boss at the work. At that time, I was at the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) in Abeokuta. I told my boss at my place of work that I am going to be going for the Yearly West Africa training. She was quite skeptical, but I sat her down and then I explained the whole training to her. And then at that point, Yearly sent us a letter to be able to show, people that can really allow us to, live for the program. And then she read through and she saw, and then she saw that it was authentic. It was really straightforward. And then she had no choice. I wanted 6 weeks because at that time it was 5 weeks training on site. That time it was 5-week training. It's quite different from the one they do now, that they do 3 weeks on site and then 2 weeks online.
I think that was the one I experienced. It was hybrid.
So this one was this one was 5 weeks on site. And then so I needed 1 more week to be able to get my document, like trying to make sure that some of my police report and some other things were in place. And so my boss gave me 8 weeks off instead of 6 because she saw that it was authentic. So she gave me that permission. I went to the NYSC secretariat and then there was somebody I knew. And then she told me, see, all you need to do is to actually understand the fact that you can go for this program. You don't even need to come and start going through protocols and everything. They might want to deny you the opportunity of living. Just make sure that your boss is aware. I said that. And then she told me that when it's time for your clearance, then you can come from Lagos to do your clearance and go back. And when I said that, I told Yearly West Africa. Yearly said no problem, and then Yearly gave me 24 hours out of the whole training program to come back to come and do my clearance. And I came, I did it, and I went back. And so when I finished the training and came back, aside the fact that I became a fellow and then had access to more opportunities and other platforms, and then met about 80 people from West Africa, I was still able to actually, come back to come and teach my mates about what I learned. So it was just like the best thing I could do, because at that point in time I had to take on that opportunity, or else I'm not sure if another one was coming.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, so sometimes you just have to go the extra mile for it. Yes. It wasn't like I took a risk, but I went extra mile for it.
Then you made the best of it at that point in time.
Exactly. Because after my NYSC, immediately after my NYSC, because I was a fellow of the West Africa program, I started having access to some other opportunities. Exactly. And then what I actually noticed was that when I was trying to apply, I told some of my colleagues, but they were still basking in the euphoria of core members, services to actually, go to PPA, the way they think they had in their head. And while I was trying to tell them there's a need for you to actually develop competence beyond the NYSC training or the NYSC period. So they didn't really understand until I came back.
I can feel that. So that, of course, there'll still be some people like that. But then, what Said stuff did you do any Said courses yourself? Or?
Yeah. So while I was in the NYSC camp, I had interest in solar panel training thing. So I was actually a part of it. So after the camp, they were supposed to come to our local government so that we could get in the training and continuing the whole thing. But at some point, I didn't see them anymore, so I had to focus on my other trainings, knowing fully well that is just like one of the options I have. So it's not like that is everything I have. So I can I'd actually focus on some other things, developing both those communications and some other skills like that. So I had to focus on other things, not really with the fact that I don't have access to the side people. But that's why the fact that even if the side people were available, I was still, I was not going to really put all my eggs in a basket and say, oh, it's only for Saeed. No.
Yeah. So I think you made a very profound point there when you said like you also try and do other things. So I mean it's something that I feel like you can find a way to make it work, even if it's not so for instance, for some people their own major goal at that point will not be to maybe do all these applications and go for all these opportunities, travel and all of that. For them it might be something that they want to improve on in their lives. Like for instance, you can decide that for this period of my life, like you mentioned, I need to build my communication skills. I need to get like ready for the world out there after NYSC. I need to be better at interpersonal relationships. I need to be better at emotional intelligence. I need to learn more about money and managing finances. I need to learn more about a certain concept and all of that. So I feel like it's easy to get like carried away or engrossed with what we have at hand, and then other areas of our lives that we also need to like take the opportunity to tend to like overlook them. And again, it might not even have to be like you going for a specific training, especially if you are constrained by time. And sometimes it also depends on your PPA. Like you might not just be lucky enough to have someone who would release you to go. But either way, maybe reading books, leveraging like online stuff, or maybe some group stuff around you that you can just learn from those channels. I feel like nobody is ever fully perfect or developed or like well-rounded in quotes like that at every given point in time, but we can just leverage every opportunity we have to continually learn and improve on ourselves, and that's one good way to optimize your service here. So that's
true. I'd like to buttress on what you said. I feel that people need to define what productivity means to them. However, the goal is to be productive. So for some people, probably writing some 200 words article could be productivity to them. Aside going to work and doing all those things, they were able to do some things. That is productivity to them. But people need to define what productivity really means to them. And then while also taking note that they need to understand that, to be candid, in Nigeria right now, we have a lot of young people. So what you do, are you the best at what you do, or are you trying to be the best of, that particular area? So if you want to do anything, be the best at it, but be productive. Be productive. That's the thing, because people come to see that after NYSC, oh, this is not what I really planned. This is not what I really thought was coming, because of the fact that people have been carried away. NYSC is just like it's not like you're actually free forever. NYSC is just for a very short time, of which you're coming back to reap what you've sown. So it's just that way, just for a very short time, and then people come back to that realization that yes, I'm in the real world now. Then I have to compete, which might be late. You understand? So it's better to build, and then to build well at that point in time. Starting from NYSC can be a plus for anybody to be able to get something right. So, but people need to be aware that they need to be the best of what they do.
Yeah, and starting from NYSC too, I think in a way it's also quite easy or easier at that point to like find your tribe. Like, because you would be relating with other core members and wherever you are, and then it's easy for you to like say, maybe not, let me not generalize and say easy, but maybe mostly easy for you to like find other people who are of like minds, and then you build together, and then you continue even after NYSC, identify that, oh, we've been through this together, and sure, you get all of that. And going forward, I know, oh, this person always has my back. If I have something in mind or an idea or something, I can always reach out to this person, because this person is also like has a similar vibe and mindset towards things like I do. So yeah.
So I like to come in there. When it comes to actually trying to connect with others, I feel that it's a skill on its own, like being open-minded. So there are ways to which people don't discuss the things that matter, and that really can be very disastrous. So when people meet and then they sit down to discuss what are the things they're discussing, what are the things they're actually trying to envisage, or probably trying to project. So these are things that could really help, because I could remember one time I was in NYSC, and then I met with somebody, and the person mentioned a particular name, and it was connected to my own area of expertise, and I was able to just say, oh yeah, I know this person. The person is doing this and doing that, and they were like, yeah. I started to ask, what do you do? And then he started to tell me, and I was like, oh yeah, I know about these. These are things I've gone for. These are things I'm looking at. So when I started to talk about the things I'm looking at doing, me some tips like, oh yes, I've done this before. The thing you want to achieve, I've done this before. This is how I did my own. And they were like, oh, that's cool. And some of the things he also wanted to achieve, I was able to tell him, oh, this was how I did it, how I got it achieved, something like that. So we started to discuss, started to share feedback with each other. Okay, this is what I did. Oh, it wasn't successful. What do you think? So I started to learn and unlearn at the same time. And that was beneficial both ways. So connecting can really be like a kind of skill where you don't necessarily view the person as not being serious, because the person I was saying doesn't look what he was saying. It doesn't really look what he was saying. You know, they say NYC people that hire their khaki well, people that look so neat at the serious ones. That is not so true, because the person I was seeing at that time had an innovation that was with Leap Africa also, that Leap Africa recognized. So at that point in time, I could not even picture that this guy is this person I've been reading about.
He didn't look the part.
So, I didn't know, because it wasn't his khaki or his hairstyle or probably his look that I was able to use to recognize him. It was because we had conversations, and that's why I was very happy that I was open-minded, and I was able to relate with people around me in a very good way. So that was really very helpful.
So yeah, so speaking, I know there's this project that people usually that you have to do, right? Like a development project in, like in the community you were posted to. What did you work on?
So in my community, the first thing we did was we did a billboard thing for the community, but we did a sensitization and orientation for people in the community about what we were trying to actually achieve. So we noticed that a lot of people in that community are very dirty. Some people don't take their health with they don't take it with levity. They don't really care about their health. So we had to educate them about the importance of actually trying to keep clean, and then how this can affect climate change and their day-to-day life. So we were able to educate them, and then from there we had to put a billboard. Then we got them back to be able to keep some of those dead. Yes, and then we made sure that they were connected to the waste management board where they could be disposing their waste. So in that way, we could not really, we had to actually focus so much on pregnant women and their nursing mothers, because they got affected the most. So had to be able to treat their children and combat sickness and ailments. So we were able to educate them and do that. Those were part of the things we did. Aside the fact that we also trained the people in our neighborhoods about the importance of the SDGs and so like that. So some other related issues like that. So we to go and educate people and then talk to them. Despite the fact that my whole project was actually because I wanted to embark on a personal project at that point in time, but because I travel almost every week to Ibadan to I travel almost every week. I travel almost every week to Ibadan to do some other project. That's why sometimes you see me around, and then I come to attend some programs or probably do some trainings for people.
Yeah, because I remember, I think around the time we first met, you were still doing your NYSC. That was the Yadi or your launch, or your state chapter launch.
You're very right.
Oh, you
Correct.
were sitting here. Wow, can you imagine?
That was really helpful for me because I was able to, while coming to Yali Oyo, I was able to meet some other people that are very, very close to me to date, and that was really, really very helpful.
Yeah, I can imagine. So
Really
well
very
done,
helpful.
well done.
Thank you.
Yep. So if you could go back and undo one thing that you did during your service year, what would that thing be? Maybe a
So,
bad experience or something you didn't do well.
so yeah, the thing I actually did that wasn't very comfortable about was the fact that I'm not saying people living in the family house are not actually not okay. I'm not saying that, but I feel that to me privacy is something I value a lot. So so what I did that time was to stay at the family house sometime. That time I wasn't really productive because I get disturbed. There were a lot of people in the family house and things like that. So not until I had a place of my own to be able to think and then work at my own pace. So I was that was really helpful for me, because there are times when I wanted to do something and then I don't have the the privacy, or probably I don't have the necessary how do I call it now, support in the way. When I say support, sometimes I might want to do something and then I call my colleague and say, yeah, this, that, but because of the noise and because those people around me feel I'm too serious, so it wasn't really helpful. It wasn't really helpful.
Yeah, okay. I think I think I can get that. Especially the old thinking part where you just want to and I think that even as maybe someone that you flow with people generally to normally, and then you just want to retreat, have your own me time, think, strategize and all, because people feel like if you're not doing something, you're just sitting somewhere or lying down and thinking, they'll come and start asking you, are you okay? Are you fine?
Yeah.
Is your mood good? And so there were times I had
Like I'm okay.
some people would tell me that, Esther, this is not you. This is Ginicon. No, you're always smiling, you're always bubbling, you're always this and that. I'm like, I'm fine, but I can't be walking around with a grin on my face or be yapping and be opening my mouth all the time and talking. I also want to think. You also want to strategize and think forward about other things or reflect on something that you've done or meditate or something like that. And I think it's something that we need to normalize because, again, I like to think that you're one of those people that you actually have a set time, maybe 1 or 2 hours per day that you retreat and you think, right?
Exactly. So what was really more disastrous for me at that point in time was the fact that I sleep so late because I work into the night, and so when I wake up in the morning around 6-7, I want to take some time to think and then to plan my day. So at that point in time, you see somebody come and wake me up around 5 or 6 for prayers, and I'm like, hey, I know when to pray. Don't come and disturb me. And then they say, oh, the norm here, everybody pray together, So and you look different if you don't join them, and I'm like, hey, this is disturbing me. This is disturbing my plans. So at that point, I had to start bending, and then obeying those rules I wasn't comfortable with. And so at that point in time, it was really disturbing my productivity a lot. So sometimes I go to work and then stay long at work to think, instead of coming back home to sit down and think myself.
I get so. Well, yeah, I at least you were able to walk around it a bit, like devise a way to step back.
Yes, I was able to manage the situation to an extent, but I was far productive after finding a place and then having my privacy.
So I guess that's another lesson one can also pick out, that even if the environment is not so conducive or like optimal, you can just try as much as possible to make the best of what you can do, or build systems around it such that you can at least hack it to a certain extent and make things work. So
exactly.
Well done again. But upon all the things that you said you were able to do and everything like that, okay, I already asked you about stuff that you wished you could undo. What is that thing that you wished you could have, or things? Because I know your answers, they're almost always full. What are the things you wished you could have done better?
Well, so yes, at one point,
some of the thing. Apart from the productivity thing, sure you get.
So aside the productivity thing, I think I could have hung out more with friends because I only hang out. Yeah, I didn't really hang out with friends when I was in NYC because I didn't have the time. So I didn't hang out with friends more. The only time we get to see is CDS and then probably at place of work. In time, I'm always acting like an what do I call it? Someone who acts. I try to get a lot of information from people when I talk to them because I want to learn. So I let them do the talking more. I want to listen to them. I want to learn from them. I want to know the things they've done. So that I maximize the CDS, and then. But aside that, I didn't really have a lot of time to bond more with those people. That's why the fact that we communicate online and other things, but I didn't really have time to hang out more with people. That's that. And when it for sports, I didn't engage in sports during my service. Yeah,
Why
I didn't
now?
engage in sports. Just that?
I said why?
Yeah, because at that point in time, of course, I really love football a lot, but at that point in time, I didn't just have the time because for me, I don't like to just play football in a setting that is not very okay. So, and I wasn't really, very really having that advantage. So if I have to go and play football, I have to either go to the stadium or somewhere that is very okay, and that is quite far from me. You said?
I said somewhere with green carpet or green grass.
Yeah, so and that place was quite far from me. So I tried to do the calculation when I go to the stadium and come back about 2 or 3 hours is gone, and then I'm tired. I want to probably find something to eat and rest. Before you know it, about 6 hours is gone already. So
imagine instead of you to have one touch with the
exactly thing that I did to actually that suffice for that would probably maybe just see a short movie or probably play games on my phone, but I don't really, not every time though.
Yeah, but even the game on your phone, you didn't really engage with friends. It was just you and your phone.
It was just me and my phone. Yeah, it was just my phone.
Yes, but then of course afterwards, I feel like from the way you painted it, I feel like you're way better now. Like looking at at my experience with you.
Yeah, I think I'm better now, and I'm trying to be better because I understand the power of relationship with people. And I understand what it means to be able to balance life. However, I'm also keeping in mind not to be distracted. So
I get. So that's the keyword, balance.
Yeah. Yes.
But do you think, does balance mean? It's a question that, okay, I think I came across an article like that. I can't remember the full details, but then I think it raised a question in me that, does balance mean necessarily being having all aspects of your life well aligned at the same time in your life, at the same time, like at the same period or at the same season? Or balance could just be like, oh, this season I'm focusing on these 2-3 things, then next season 2-3 things. But what do you think about it personally? So it could be like, okay, continue.
But balance to me in a way connotes discipline. Why I'm saying that is because when I have to work, I'm working. When I have to play, I'm playing. So I don't pleasure for work. I don't miss work for pleasure. So when I'm supposed to do what I'm supposed to do, I'm doing it. So balance in a way that, okay, when it's time for work, I set a target, I go for it. And when it's time to play, I play. So you don't see me playing when I'm supposed to be working or working when I'm supposed to be playing. That's balance to me.
Okay. So I was actually, I totally get that. But then, okay, so let me build on what you just said. Because it's like, when it's time to work, you're working. When it's time to play, you're playing. When it's time for other things, you're doing those other things. But maybe when it comes to, if you're thinking of it from the angle of the number of hours or the time, the amount of time and energy you put into work is too much compared to, sure, you get other things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so one of the things that I've been able to actually do this point in time is to actually be strategic. So I work smart now, and that means that I don't spend a lot of time working. I might say because of the experience over time, I've been able to help myself to get better. spend too much time working, but I've been able to actually set up a kind of a strategy for myself when it comes to my professional life.
There's a question I wanted to ask, but then it skipped my mind. What is your activities and travel and all of those things? Please, how were you able to fund them? Is it just the Alawi? I think that time it was 19.8, and then your MBS pay if you were paid, or like how were you able to hack it, or was it like you were also doing some other side hustles? You mentioned you work a lot, right? But I don't know. I want to be clear if it was like work from MBS where your PPA was, or like other things that you were doing into constituted work.
So yes, at that point I was also doing some other things. Some of the things I used to do at that point was to train people and then get paid for it. So I train people and get paid for it. You said?
Train people on what?
Yeah, so I train people on when it comes to non-profit management. I train people to writing some document, maybe like cover letter, like CV writing, and so when it comes to strategy sections on how to market opportunities, I train people like that. So I get some money from it, and then some I write documents for people. So I get paid from it too. Yes, these are some of the things I do during that time. I was able to actually get extra money to fund my travel.
Okay, I was wondering,
maybe all the programs I attended or trainings I attended myself, they were fully sponsored.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see. So that also helped.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were using silver spoon to eat, or maybe MBS. So if they are paying like big money, maybe I should go and tell them that I'm not doing medical PPA again. Come and collect me. I'm not yours.
MBS wasn't paying me at all. So I was just
it was side us too.
Good. At that point in time, it was 19 hits. It wasn't 33.
Yeah.
It was 19 hits.
Yeah, but I feel like the purchasing power was still okay then. Like, but these days, everything is just mad. So we thank the Lord. Yeah. We are here. We are holding up. We are doing well. We are resilient Nigerians. And all of that. Yeah. So I'm going to round up now because I know you're a very busy person. And it's actually been great fun so far. I'm sure the listeners are like, so for you personally, top 3 things that you would say that yes, this is proof that I optimized my NYSC year. Like things that were like maybe directly or indirectly as a result of the things you did or what you did during your NYSC year. But mostly maybe directly or can easily be traced to it. Maybe something you're enjoying now or something that you can show forth. Do you get my question?
Yeah, I got that. Okay. So one of those things is connection. Okay. At the end of my NYSC year, I was connected to the people that matter.
Okay.
When I say the people that matter, the right people.
Okay.
So it was really awesome for me that the type of people I was connected to when I finished NYSC was actually amazing. I'm not saying connecting to my fellow coppers or core members. No.
Movers are the industry.
I'm saying connected to the people in their places.
Okay.
I mean, at that point in time when I was finishing my NYSC, I was having a lot of contact in different countries in West and some other countries outside West Africa, and there were guys in some very top places. I mean, some exceptional young Africans. So that was actually a very good one for me. And then at that point in time, when I finished NYSC, I was very happy because I had a lot of knowledge about something that I didn't know.
Okay.
So I was firmly rooted because at that point, competence and we know capacity triumph title. So the capacity I've been able to build was able to sustain my connection.
Okay, get that. I get what you mean by that.
Yeah, so it was able to help me sustain my connection. And then the third thing was the fact that I was able to actually have, traveled to several places, met different people. So at that point, there's hardly a lot of things that you would tell me probably about Lagos, about Abeokuta, because I was able to go to a lot of places, so I had a knowledge of different terrain. Those things stood out for me because I used to come to Abeokuta. I used to go to Abeokuta rather before my NYSC year, but during my NYSC year, was the first time I stayed in Abeokuta for some time. So I was able to understand my terrain, know places, know people, go to some other places like probably go to the palace and some other things like that. So I was able to know some places like that.
So would say that you had a full year and a productive one at the end of the day?
Yeah. Yes. I did.
Thank you very much. I feel like there's still a lot I want to press out of you, like the whole your capacity enabled you to sustain those connections, because I know, like, I have a lot of connections in quotes. You get cards at events, you get this, you get that, you meet some people, you talk, but then it fizzles out because sometimes you just can't sustain it. And of course, there's also a place of, it's not everybody that you keep in touch with in quotes like that, or maybe for now, but especially when the person is in like the same industry or your area of interest, but you have not maybe built enough to engage with them at that level yet. So I know that
I like to come in there. Okay. So for me, I feel that let me start from that grassroots. It's possible that I meet Buhari today, President Buhari, and then I meet somebody like one Mr. Kandevi from Sierra Leone, and I'm so blown away because it's somebody that is in my line of career and somebody that I really long to meet. So that part of me wanting to connect with him, sure you understand. So like trying to connect with him, getting his card and all those stuff. Of course, connecting with people that matter and the people that are important is actually like a skill on its own, because some people just go to people and say, yes, I want to meet you, sir, because you have a high profile or probably you're successful. It doesn't mean you're direct. So, but I have to be about the kind of contact I get, and how to manage them is another skill on its own. For instance, some people get this card and then they put their emails on their emailing list, and then maybe weekly or bi-weekly or probably every quarter you send them, this quarter, this is what I was able to do. It's amazing, and this is what I'm looking forward to achieving. I'm saying keep in touch with you and to let you know that these are the things I've done. I about your own what have you been able to achieve at your own hand? Trying to just reach out that way, it really helps. Or probably giving a call out of the blues, or probably just trying to record a video and say, oh yeah, this is what I've done. This just trying to update them about what you've been trying to do and what you look forward to achieving. So it really helps to manage contact a lot, because some people just get contact times when you will need those contacts to do some things for you. So you might not necessarily have to go through that story of telling them what you've achieved or what you are doing, because you have been keeping them updated.
That's actually one hack I have to try, because sometimes I always feel like with certain people that if I've not gotten to the end of that thing that I want to achieve, there's no need reaching out to them to update. But something I'm definitely going to put in the loop so that they know your progress. But I think progress story is as important as like the final success story, right? So So yeah, thank you very much for joining me. I'm really, really grateful, and I'm sure that people and the listeners have also like gained one or two things from this whole conversation. And I'm definitely following up again and asking you to come on the show again. So I'm hanging this on your neck now in public. That's
no problem.
I'm going to have again on so many other things to discuss about. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure discussing with you.
Yeah,
again, Kenny. And
it's a privilege to be here.
Yeah. So thank you very much, the listeners. Thank you so much for joining the Value Cafe with Esther this week again. And again, remember to share this. Don't be stingy. Whether you have people in your life that are doing NYSC now, or they're about to do, or they have done, there's always something to learn and to apply in other areas of your life. So share the link, voice messages. They're very, very sweet to hear. And of course, sending me a mail and of course, or a DM on Instagram or on WhatsApp if you have my WhatsApp number. And
Bye, co-members. Bye.
all right.